Hello there, my name's Annette with Sunbeam Fabric Art. Welcome to my channel. First, we're going to get started pulling out 12 fat quarters. What I'm looking for, as you can see, my stash is a little bit overflowing. That black case on the left is my featherweight sewing machine, and these fat quarters really should not be in this space, but we do what we have to do. We squirrel away our fabric wherever we can fit. And today I wanted to do a project for beginners and experienced people alike. Are you afraid to sew a curve or even two curves? I'm going to show you how easy it is and how forgiving it can be. I know for some of us, choosing fabrics can be hard. What I'm looking for here are some greens, like that lime green right there. I'm not sure I want to use that, but I'm looking for other green fabrics. I want to have 4 light, 4 medium, and 4 darker, and I did end up achieving that. It is fun to look through our fabrics. I got some ideas on things I want to do with some of these other fat quarters while I was searching through for greens. Here are the 12 fat quarters I came up with. I sorted them out by using a black and white photo into light, medium, and dark. And here is that black and white. Using that black and white filter on most of our phones allows us to see those lights, mediums, and darks that aren't necessarily apparent when we're just looking at the fabric in color. I do want to get accurate cuts on my fat quarters, so I am going to take the time to press each one nice and flat. I like to press fat quarters with the wrong side up. For me, it makes it easier to see the creases. I've done some quilts before that are pretty easy where you make straight cuts on your fat quarters instead of curves. There will be less wastage if you do straight cuts. And the other consideration is not all fat quarters are the same. I had 2 in particular that were smaller than the rest. I cut the selvages off of one side of these fat quarters. Lifting up that left edge of the fabric, you can see that one of these fat quarters is substantially shorter than the others. For today's project, you don't have to worry about this. The cuts we're making are going to be towards the middle of these fat quarters. If you want them all to be the same size when you start, that's fine. You can trim them up to the same size, but like I said, for this project, it doesn't matter. You can see my little sticky note there. I've drawn a fat quarter and I've drawn 2 curves through it. Notice these are very gentle curves, and both of those curves were going the same way. Then I might try 2 curves going the opposite way. And then what you don't want to do is have more than 1 curve on one line. That will not work. Don't do that. Think slow curve, gentle curve. Not steep, just a gentle curve. So here we go. I've got a light, medium, and dark stacked up together, and I'm going to make 2 curvy cuts. Like I said, very slow curve, very gentle, not a steep curve, just very gentle. And now I'm making that second cut, and you can see these cuts are more towards the center of the fat quarter. So the fact that some of these fat quarters are an inch or two shorter than the others doesn't make any difference. Once we put all this back together, we're going to trim these fat quarters back down. Now I have 3 fat quarters, and each fat quarter is in 3 pieces. If you only wanted to do one curved cut, use an even number of stacked up fat quarters. We want to make sure that the fat quarters that were cut the same stay together. That's the important part, because each set of 3 I'm going to cut differently. And I don't want to try to match something from the first set with a set that was cut completely different. So I've got to keep this set together. And you can see the left, I switched out the fabric. The middle, I switched out the fabric. That way each block is going to be different. Now let's talk a little bit about sewing these back together. I'm going to be sewing that seam on the right-hand side first, and then I'll add on that seam on the left. Here's a little picture of concave versus convex curve. I found it easier to sew the curve with the concave on top. As we go around the curve, stitching our 1/4 inch seam, we simply move that top fabric to the left a little bit at a time to keep it all together. And because it's on a curve, it's going to stretch a little bit, which makes it easy to work out. And believe it or not, it just seems like magic. Now these fat quarters are large chunks of fabric, so if you feel more comfortable, you can take some straight pins or some clips and go all the way down your curve, pinning this fabric in place together, and then go back and stitch it. I slowed down my stitch speed to about half. I'm sewing here about an inch at a time, because that is how much I can see matches together. And then when I get that far, I know I have to move my fabric over to the left again. That concave angle needs to be moved back over to match up with the convex curve underneath. And again, all my fat quarters were a little bit different. So when I get to the end of the seam, sometimes there's some overhang, sometimes there's not. I assembled these fat quarters 3 at a time. I did not want to get my sets mixed up. Once I had that right side seam stitched, I flipped the unit around and stitched on that left seam. Since we've got 12 fat quarters with 2 seams each, We only have to sew 24 of these curved seams. Now it's time to press these seams flat, and just seeing how it lays out so nicely, you can see it's going to be relatively easy to press. Like I said, that curve gives it a little bit of stretch, and they just lay nicely, but you can see the different sizes of fat quarters I used are going to cause me to have to cut these down quite a bit. What I'm going to be looking for as I press these is the smallest set of 3, so I can match that size when I cut the rest. I love that mint green fabric with the fish. I looked over all these units and blocks on my cutting mat and I found the smallest one. Here it is. I don't know how this one came out so small, but once I trimmed it down, I determined that all my blocks are going to be trimmed to 16.5 inches wide and 17 inches long. Taking a look at this next block, you can see how some of the blocks were quite a bit longer than the 17-inch length. So I'm going to have some nice wide strips of fabric to add to my scrap bin. With all the blocks trimmed to the same size, I laid out, but I wanted to show you in black and white. I did not like where that center block had that dark section, so I moved that, as you see here, I moved that out to the outside of the quilt. Now, to help you out if you're a beginner, I would leave your quilt laid out wherever you put it, on a bed or on the floor, and that is what I did here. I didn't want to get these mixed up. So first I'm taking the 2 blocks on the left of each row. Once I had all 4 pairs put together, I simply walked over to the floor where I had this laid out and grabbed that 3rd block and added it to the right-hand side. These curves are all different, so there's no matching involved, but when we put the rows together, we do want to match seams. This is row 4 laying on my table. I went back to the floor and got row 3 and laid those together. Then I flipped, like a book, I flipped row 4 over onto the top of row 3 so I can stitch that seam between. I really like to use clips when I'm matching up these seams, and I'd like to use the nesting technique, which means as you match that seam together, one seam is going one direction and one seam is going the opposite direction, and when you move that back and forth with your fingers, that seam will catch. It will lock on itself and keep that in place. But I like to use a clip to hold it there until I get it stitched. And these seams are pretty long, so I'm going to clip all the way down this seam from the top to the bottom. Make sure everything stays together while I feed it through the sewing machine. Once the curves are all done, it's easy to just stitch straight seams now. I put rows 3 and 4 back where I got them, and then I retrieved rows 1 and 2. I got that seam clipped into place and stitched it. With row 1 and 2 put together, I had to then retrieve row 3 and 4 and just do one final seam. Well, it's almost time to take a look at the finished quilt. I chose the green colors with the ocean in mind and waves. So to me, this looks like waves of the ocean. What does it look like to you? What colors would you use for these curves? I'm always interested to hear what my viewers think, and feel free to leave comment and let me know. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope to see you back again real soon.